What's the power of reflecting on the last year? Where did I make mistakes? Where could I have shown up better? Who could I have served at a higher level?
Mm-hmm. Hello and welcome to Center for Victory's podcast of Your Best Day Yet. At Center for Victory, we're here to help unlock, reinforce, and unleash people's personal and professional development. Jay Doran is my guest today. Start off a little bit different. You all know Jay, Dr. J, the big JC. He's become a great friend over the past year, and I'm glad to have you on again, my friend.
My pleasure.
Yeah, it's Christmas Eve.
Are you into this holiday?
A little bit. You could say, my kids will say I'm a bit grinchy. My favorite holiday is the 4th of July, just because we blow so much stuff up. But I do like the premise of the season. Sometimes I get frustrated with what comes with it, especially in our culture and our society. But you are Jay Doran, the culture man. Let's talk about culture today.
Do you mean the gifting, giving people gifts they either haven't deserved or are unaware of the obligations that come as a consequence to those entitlements? Is that what you mean?
No, that's not.
Is that what you mean? Because that's what really pisses me off about the holidays. So
no, I think it's just the attitude around things, the entitlement, things of that nature, a little bit, and how we just don't take time for one another, which I think we should do every day, all year round. And just waiting for that day once a year to tell people we appreciate them or give them something of either of our time, a gift, whatever it might be. But I didn't hear your quote yet. Do you have a quote?
I do have a quote.
Okay, Jay is notorious for starting podcasts with a quote, which I absolutely love, because then it just throws everything off and makes me think even more. So I appreciate it. So what do you got? What do you got for us today, Jay?
Well, we have some Alfred North Whitehead.
Oh, wow. Holy cow.
Yeah, the purpose of thinking is so that our thoughts can die instead of us. Your face. Yeah, the purpose of thinking is so that our thoughts can die instead of us. So maybe the connection with this whole Christmas thing or family time, there's something to be thought around reflection of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I think we talked about this when I was on the Brian S. show.
Yeah.
I think, was that yesterday, the day before yesterday? Kind of all just merges into each other.
You and I kind of talked about this last week on one of your podcasts as well. I mean, that was pretty deep.
Yeah, reflection, right? So the purpose of thinking is so that our thoughts can die instead of us. It's like, what's the power of reflecting on the last year? Where did I make mistakes? Where could I have shown up better? Who could I have served at a higher level?
Mm-hmm.
Who did I let down?
Do you usually do that? Is that something you usually do? I mean, I know the answer to all
on a yearly thing.
Yeah.
No, more of like a daily. Depending on how. Is it the best day yet or the worst day today? Right, the title of the show, right? Your worst day. So is that something that I do? I think I do that all day long. Or maybe that's not true. Maybe I desire to do it, and I think that I do it all day long, which would lead me to not actually do it as much as I think that I do it. I think my better half helps me with that.
Yeah.
Right? Don't touch that. Don't do that. Stand up straight. That's been helping me. Stand up straight.
Yeah.
Because I've been working on my posture. This quote's been on my mind lately, and I think where the connection is to the new year would be reflection. I don't like the idea of waiting until the new year to do the new behaviors or
Right.
whatnot. So I like to think that Q1 starts in September.
Mm-hmm.
So I've already changed, or let's say, readapted goals I had for 25 in November because I had already taken action on them. It was like, oh, I'm going to tweak that here, tweak that there. So I use the imminent new year as a way to refine myself before the new year. I want momentum in the new year. I don't want to reset then.
Right.
So that's how I use. But anyway, that's the quote that I want to talk about today. The purpose of thinking is so that our thoughts can die instead of us. Like go a lot of different directions with that.
Yeah.
What comes to mind?
Well, I'm back on the whole reflection piece because I know, a lot of even what, to think back of, geez, we just got introduced to one another when?
Last week?
Last week.
It's almost a year, wasn't it? April of 24, which is nowhere near a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, feels
I
like
thought
a
it was.
long
I
time.
thought it was before that though. Yeah.
Not sure.
Yeah, at the retreat.
Which
January.
one?
January.
So it's coming on a year.
It's coming on a year.
Wow, that's a big deal.
When I think about that, I think it's just something even in our conversations, Jay, you can tell me if I'm wrong or not, but I think at least I reflect a lot on what we talk about, right? And that's why I think I enjoy kind of being around you and just
Thanks.
because I think that reflection. If you just do it once a year, to your point, then I think you're just mindlessly engaged in a couple, maybe not even a day of reflection, and that's not going to move the needle any when you start the new year. If you're in,
It's oxymoronic to think that it's done in one day of a year.
Yeah. But a lot of
because I
people,
haven't even built the muscle to do it yet.
Right.
So how do I know I'm even doing it if I'm doing it one day? It doesn't make any sense. Foolish.
But I think it is good to look at that however you want to do it. I mean, every day, every week, but just to reflect and look back on, I think just how can I get better? What did I notice on, just a kind of a debrief, similar to what, when we do podcasts together. I often joke with Jay that I'd like to get on his podcast someday.
You're welcome back anytime.
Yeah. But when we do it, though, the things that we do, it's always, how could we do that better? And it is, it's gotten better. The one we did last week was definitely for sure. I could watch that one again. I can't remember all we talked about, but, that time to just kind of sit back and say, okay, what's going on? What else, can I do better at a higher level? I do like the one thing I want to come back to this because, when I think about this season, one of the words that you said was serve. And I've heard you talk about this quite a bit, about how you serve your client partners, right? And how you serve others, right? How do you look at that as far as, whatever you want to call it, reflect on that? What what challenges you to get better? What are the reasons for you to want to get better?
Me, for sure. Yeah, and my past, and my pain, and my aim. Right? Me, my past, my pain, my aim. Because I'm wrapped up in my past and the future.
Mm-hmm.
But, my destiny, I feel I have a destiny.
Yeah.
And I've never not felt that. If anything, I've not taken the call, heeded the call.
Do you think people wrestle with that?
I think people wrestle with God. Any Peterson fans, yeah, inside joke.
Yeah.
Do people wrestle with that? I don't know what people do. I know what I do.
You
I
said,
don't,
right? You're stepping into.
In theory, people.
I mean, I work with a lot of people who do that.
Go on.
Yeah, and they, am I good enough? And they're. One of the reasons we call it your best day yet is like we don't want to call it.
I've never questioned whether I was good enough. I'm afraid of myself. I'm
Okay.
afraid of what
Of
I'm capable of. I'm not questioning whether I'm good enough. If anything, I have too much, you know, too much. I'm arrogant,
okay.
maybe narcissistic,
Okay.
but too self absorbed, self centered, lazy, entitled, too talented. Things come so easy to me. I literally don't even have to show up and be prepared. I am, it's actually devastating. And the fact of the matter is, I'm nowhere near my potential. And I'm not doing nearly enough to get close to it. And that's why I'm resentful and a jerk and angry most of the time and not present
Most of the time, really?
and bored. Oh, so bored. So I just decided to stop lying. And I'm like, I don't know, 10% of the way in that. So
Yeah.
I'm still lying 90% of the time. Um, and so I feel pretty proud, 10% is 100% growth as it relates to zero.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all relative. Thanks for asking. Thanks for listening.
You're welcome.
Pleasure's all yours. Um, yeah, I'm excited about the new year.
What are you most excited about?
Intensity, which really could be substituted for honesty, directness, um, courage, responsibility. Like going back, being, yeah, it's like to be talented, but to not have, man, I could have really used somebody just smack my ass as a kid. Just beat the living daylights out of me. I could have used that, I think. Like in a healthy way. Like not like a jerk off way. Like you could be more, you could do more. Yeah, that would have been good. Now I'm not complaining, I very much I've been given a gift of love by really my family. But maybe too much. Maybe too much. Um So yeah, I just think I've spent the last 33 years learning how to learn and learning how to um be responsible, and because of the innate, abilities, I've been very valuable to some powerful people that want to continue to get power, that want to continue to be considered successful and be successful. And anyone that's listening to this that has a business, you don't have much of a business if you don't have very, very talented people, very smart people, very capable people working absolutely crazily for your power and for your benefit and for your profit and for your gain, right? So, but I'm just learning how to learn. It's like I'm learning how to walk. I'm like I'm crawling through life just at the very base of my potential.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of see I'm getting real small, yeah. And it just shows how little I've been listened to. The fact I'm still talking. You didn't even ask a question, but you're just listening. You're just interested. You're just intentional, right? Peterson would say someone that hasn't been listened to, that you'd be surprised what they'll tell you. I'll tell you my whole life story. Yeah. You want to know? So,
Well, I do have a question for you.
sure.
Let me see if I can remember it because I was listening
I
to what
wonder
you
how
were
many
saying.
people listening to this think this is satire. Go on.
No, so for those of you said about talent, right? I've worked with a lot of companies that are struggling with that, but I also see some that are having a lot of success with it. The companies that you work with, just it's not just me saying this, Jay. Companies that you work with, as we reflect into what we've accomplished, what we've not accomplished for this year into next year, what advice would you give companies out there looking to get better talent inside their companies and around them?
To be talented, but also to, now that's one thing. If you're not talented, how you get talented? I mean, even the word talent, what a self-centered, even just like that's a arrogant. It doesn't. What does that even mean? I'm being a bit dramatic to make a point about how I don't believe I've been as responsible in my life
Mm-hmm.
as as would have been of benefit to me. So hey, I'm disclosing that I can be more responsible.
Mm-hmm.
And talent is not going to get us there, or like, maybe talent, it takes me 2 minutes to learn something new and someone else 72 minutes. It's like there's a potential. If you don't do anything with it, or you use it in the wrong way, that's not helping anybody nor oneself. So to answer your question, how to become more, let's say, bring out the talent that's within us, that would be
Well,
practice and repetition
and
and
around,
preparation. I'm sorry?
like to get in around, like how do we
To
get
attract.
to attract the folks?
I think that's going to come as a result of actually being one's best. Like, I love the show's
Mm-hmm.
title. So that's where I was going to be at first, because if in the absence of us being at first, we're going to attract people at our level or below.
Mm-hmm.
So I think and that would go back to like how engaged I actually am in my life, what I'm doing, and how much sacrifice is involved. I think I could have these goals and this vision of where I want to be and think I'm capable of going. If my actions if my actions don't reflect that vision, then well, it's not only not going to happen, I'm going to be pretty upset that it's not happening. And that is a sad circumstance. And I have absolutely suffered from that in my life. And that's a degree of entitlement that is not going to create success. That's that, and it's relative, right? Like, to someone listening, success is like somebody that makes $1 million a year might feel like an absolute loser. Somebody that makes 50,000, and this, of course, I'm using capitalist wise
Yeah.
to like make this, thinks that they're the coolest thing since tennis felt, when they believe that they're really a 100 million a year person.
Mm-hmm.
And we all, each of the people listening to this knows, if you're like, your body knows, the conscience knows, if you're putting it all on the line, putting it all on the table, and living and working to your potential. I know it. I'm so aware of it that I can beat myself up to the point where I'll be completely incapable of even looking in the mirror and acting. That's not good either, to be that aware and then self-critical and judgmental and brutal and terrible to myself. How am I going to move through life? So to answer your question, the talent's going to come as a consequence of tapping into one's character, one's behaviors, and that's where I think having an aim, having the sacrifice, the self-respect, the respect for others based on what I say I'm going to do to myself, what I say I'm going to do to my team, like what I'm projecting out there. Hey, this is what I'm going to do. Am I keeping my word?
Mm-hmm.
Am I of integrity? Am I sacrificing? So, like, for the business owners, it's a sacrifice to run a business. If you want to have talent, not yes people, talent that's all in.
Good. That's a very good.
Yeah,
point.
we can go, not yes people, talent. I'm talking talented people that are smarter and better. I said before, I was talking about how talented I am. Let me be clear. In certain little domain, I'm talented. I am absolutely the lowest loser in so many things. Not talented, can't even tie my shoes. I didn't pick this outfit out. I have a more talented wardrobe coordinator named my wife. So I am not talented in so many things. I am in the bottom percentile in so many things. But in the one or two things that I'm in the 99th and percentile, I have absolutely rested on my laurels. And that makes me hate who I am. And but this is the cool thing about that. I'm gonna do something. I'm doing something about it. Damn it! That's part of why I'm saying all this. It's like, I'm not gonna go on one more of these damn shows and lie to you people. Try to convince myself I'm something I'm not when I'm
What
not.
changed?
What do you think? What changed? I don't know. You ever been sick and tired of being sick and tired?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are. Absolutely.
Well, I have to do things about things,
Yeah.
but there's so much I'm still not doing. I don't know. I don't know. I just
What are the things that you're looking forward to, like in the new year, that
oh
that you wanted, like that you want to do, that you have aspirations to do?
yeah, I love the work. I love the project. I love going inside of a business and analyzing and showing up and meeting with the people and figuring out what the culture is and what is wrong and what could be better. Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm the person that's sent into the fire. I'm a fireman. I'm sent into the fire. I'm a fireman. I go where the problem is. I'm not interested in the fun stuff. I like the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I'm attracted to the problem. So I'd like to solve bigger problems that stretch me and make me better, smarter, faster, stronger, more
So
capable. So right, and
yeah,
then I'll be more valuable for everybody already that
yeah.
I'm around. But I want to be around bigger problems, and it's the who. It's like I got to be around people that it's the people. I need to be. I need my. I've always been searching for my people. I'm in the desert searching, and I haven't found all of them. I've got plenty of people. I could get along with a lamp. I could get along with a lamp. I was raised right.
There's
I was
truth to
raised
that.
right. I was raised by wonderful, wonderful family that's helped me. Wonderful, good people, so I can get along with the lamp. But I don't need. I think I can do better than a lamp. So if you're listening to this and you need a friend, it's good. Jay's
Well,
having a nervous breakdown on New Year, Christmas Eve.
no, this is good, because a lot of times this is exactly how we talk to one another.
Well, yeah, of course.
Hi, everyone. I wanted to tell you about an event we have coming up on January 18th from 9 to 3 at Concord Church, and that is our third annual Vision Day. Now, I know everyone likes to set goals at the beginning of the year, but this is our intentional way of doing that to help you define and align with your priorities and expectations at work, at school, at home, etc. We're going to be working on personal alignment, practical teaching, and purposeful direction. And you can sign up now for this event at centerforvictory.com under the events tab. And spots are limited. So if you are a teenager and above, you are more than welcome to come. We actually would really love to see you there, but make sure you get your spot now by signing up. Don't miss out. We'd love to have you there. Let's make 2025 the best year yet. And now back to your regularly scheduled podcast.
You're always a great listener.
Yeah, let's back up, Jay, because I want to give you a little plug here, because it's something that this is what I'm excited for 2025, because we've been working together off and on here for a little bit. Jay has, and let me know if this is okay but it's back on my desk here, right? The manual.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, you said you like to jump into problems. Man, what better problems are there, or more challenging problems, than somebody that has started a company, right? Is the founder looking to go to CEO, from founder to CEO. There's a manual that Jay graced me with a couple months ago that we've been working through. We've been helping some folks with it. That's his work, right? But I like the fact that we've been digging into that, Jay, because not only I see it help other people. It's definitely helped me think about some things here and there, and that is what you do. I mean,
Yeah, I
you're
should
doing
probably
this.
say a little bit to that. It's like,
Yeah.
what gives me the right to even have an opinion? I don't know what to tell you guys. I've always done this. It came so naturally. I had great mentors young, great role models. I wanted to be an entrepreneur,
Mm-hmm.
but I wasn't, based on what actually happened, I was great at helping the visionary build the vision, strategy, vision, problem solving, people, connections, resource. I didn't understand what that meant. I didn't find out till years later through various mentors and people that have, world renowned. Hey, that you're a consultant. You're an advisor.
Mm-hmm.
That's people go to college for that. That wasn't my fate. I you know, who am I for? Maybe somebody that doesn't trust institutions, like they're not a fan of the formal education. So they don't want one of those, you know, stuffy consultants that's going to just tell them what to do.
Mhm.
But they value the knowledge and they want to learn. They don't want to learn the hard way. They want to learn an easier way. So they want someone with the book knowledge, because I've read the books, that's willing to get their hands dirty, get in the trenches.
Mhm.
That's come from experience. So you think, if I'm watching this and listen to me, I'm thinking I'd be, and some of this could be projection from feeling not accepted by the marketplace earlier. Like, why would this guy know anything about anything? What has he accomplished? Right out of school, when they asked me to leave, I immediately went into business and got my hands dirty and made mistakes and with partners and took on the risks. And that was all very natural. There was no, it was natural. It was like, this is what, and instead of just learning from experience or just learning from books, my claim to fame was I'm going to do both. So I'll have a book in my hand while we're working in the business. And that has grown to an actual advisory consulting business in many different industries.
And so what's the manual do?
That's come so many years later.
Right.
Because of all of this in the field learning about what makes a founder successful, what of them that makes a founder successful also undermines the founder, because things that make us successful can also undermine us.
Mm-hmm.
And what is the CEO actually, like behaviorally,
Right.
and what's the difference between a leader and a tyrant? What's the actual behavioral difference? How do we overcome the necessary yes person effect? Necessary in the sense that if no one believes before it's real, we don't have the labor we need to make it real. How do we overcome the yes person effect and develop and attract higher order talent, leaders to an organization to get to the next level of an enterprise? All of these questions, all of these observations, all of these experiences working in small business. Small business is like, could be in the billions and down from a sales standpoint. You know, there's millions of small businesses, hundreds of thousands of businesses with market capitalizations of $500 million and down. But the CEO manual is a 121-page process that takes the recipient, the person investing into it.
Mm-hmm.
This would be someone that desires to be a leader of a company,
Mm-hmm.
and brings them through the three R's of the CEO: relationships, resources, and reasons, to create more self-awareness, more clear on what the strategy is, more clear on what the aim is, more clear on what one is called not to do, so that one can be a better leader in real time for their people, for their companies, so that one is investing less in mistakes to get a bigger return. I mean, when you're talking about a company, the CEO role, the job is strategy, vision, people. You know, where are we going? Why? How? What do you think? Who's helping this happen? How are we getting there? Who's not? What do we do about it? That strategy, that vision, that people piece never stops. Then you have the other piece. What about when business owners put themselves out of a job? Like the company's grown to where they lost their job.
Mm-hmm.
What do they do then? No one's there to hold them accountable, because there's no accountability, because there's no board. It's not public. The partnerships generally lack candor, directness, quality of communication. So what happens? Two biggest things that destroy a small business: personal divorce, business divorce. Two biggest things. So the CEO manual's purpose is to lower the likelihood of business divorce,
Mm-hmm.
to increase the likelihood of business clarity, to help people mature into their role. People as in, like, yeah, specifically founder to CEO. That's like, I love that. It's fun. It's interesting. You know, and maybe as I grow, I'll be willing to help more people. I mean, I guess that's why I'm talking on this thing. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm not against helping everybody else. I just, that like so naturally spoke to me.
Mm-hmm.
But like, everybody can learn more about how to be a better leader and should. It should, yeah.
So how do people get in touch with you, Jay? I know I've put it on some of my other podcasts that you've been on, and we go back and forth quite a bit.
I don't think they
probably
need
more.
to.
I do. I think they need to follow you.
I don't.
Jay Doran, the culture man.
I don't know if they care. I don't.
Makes you say that.
Probably the deep sorrow that I have. I had a friend today give me this book. A good friend, somebody that really sees me. It says my name on it. Look at this. Zoom in right there. Hopefully this has some answers for me. Right? Why? I mean, in their defense, I haven't done enough of the work. I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a rush to be this successful thing. Whatever, yeah. What I don't want to do is be a caricature. I think I've done a good job of that today, actually, is be that. But, so I guess Nietzsche,
But
right?
you're
What
also
you
a
fear,
good
you
friend.
manifest.
But you're also a good friend.
Do you really think so?
I do.
What would you say is the reason?
Huh?
Like, what would be some of the reasons that you'd come up, that you would, yeah, why? How am I a good friend?
I believe, and Jenna is back here too, so maybe she can back me
Yeah,
up.
the real
on this.
MVP.
Yeah, I believe you genuinely care about me, Jay.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Yeah, and I don't think I can say that about too many people.
Well, thanks.
I mean, I know a lot of people in my life, but you just generally care about me, and I think the people in your life that you put yourself around, I don't know all of them.
Thanks.
I think you genuinely care about them, and I think you get so excited about the challenges is because you genuinely, like myself, want to see them get better or figure it out or go through their whatever that situation is. I mean, I'm always, you said you're a fireman. I always tell people I'm in the transportation business. I help people get from where they are at to where they want to be, and and I don't use this word lightly. I would trust that you would do right by me, like that you would have my best interest instead of your interest. And you've already demonstrated it. There are several examples of that. But that's what I would say, and I hope that I'm the same for you.
Oh, yeah, I
hope you
highly
feel-
trust
I
you,
hope-
for sure.
Hopefully you feel the same way. But I mean that's a lot. I mean, when you have a relationship like this, because we have like these conversations all the time. So I know we're here, there,
Yeah,
everywhere.
well, I'm trying to integrate
but,
who I am off the camera into fully who I am on the camera.
Yeah,
Because I really don't like the camera unless I'm fully, I think it's such a distraction. And like, if I'm not fully who I am off of it, on it, I'm not going to do it at all.
yeah.
I'm uninterested because I think it can have a backwards effect on self-awareness, the camera.
That's interesting. That's a whole
I
other
think
podcast.
self-awareness and the camera have an inverse relationship.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to fight it, right? And it's actually, I don't know. Anyway, I digress, but I do think very highly of you. It's part of why I'm being so myself on the
Yeah.
show. I'm trying to, that you're creating that safety, our relationship.
And I think that's what I try to get out of everybody. It's like we're all different. We're all goofy. We all have our own quirks. We all have our own uniqueness. But if we could learn to better, one, see it, have the self-awareness to see it, but kind of deal with it, it's made a great family for us because all of us are different. And somebody asked me, I think it was last Saturday, CEO asked me, I was having breakfast with him, and he said, well, I've heard one of his questions was this, Jay. I've heard your family kind of poke fun at you about some of your quirks, and you don't seem to get upset. I'm like, because that's who I am. Like, I don't have anything to be ashamed of. I don't. There are things that we've been outwardly aware of as a whole family, and it's made our family stronger. Now, I don't like they don't mock me or anything like that, but it's when you take responsibility for just who you are. I mean, I'm a little goofy. I'm a little unique. I think we all are, and when people can embrace that, I think that makes them a great person, especially if they can do it for other people and bring that out in other people. I like to see the good side of everybody, and that's what I would like to try to bring out, and I hope I do that for people, is just bring out their greatness, as somebody quite a few people did for me. And I think when I'm around, whether it's you, Brian, or the other people that run in our circle, I think we all kind of want to be better people. We want to be better business people. We want to be better friends. We want to be better spouses. I'm rambling now, Jay. See, this is how we kind of roll here. But I think of like some of the relationships, especially here. What comes to mind for me is iron sharpens iron. The reason I like talking to you is I leave better pretty much every time, even if we're just what some people would think screwing off. We're not. Like we're building.
Oh, I
each
would
other
want
up
to
and getting
challenge
better.
those people. If anyone is thinking that, it goes back to our quote. I
Yep.
don't think you were rambling. I think you're thinking, because I was thinking just now out loud, because you're listening. You really are listening, and I want to know what you're saying. I'm going to read the quote again. The purpose of
Yeah.
thinking is so that our thoughts can die instead of us. You give permission for people to think, and that's a big deal, because we could be dead, we could be alive but dead, because we're not. No one's listening to us. I think it's really important.
Maybe that should be top priority for everybody now this year, going into this year. What should I do? Listen more. What would happen if we did that? That's the last question, because we'll keep going on all day here.
What would happen if we listened?
Listen more.
We'll know where to look. We'll know where to aim.
Yeah, I like it. Any last words?
Yeah, go away. If you're listening, like, go do whatever you're not doing and using this as a, way to avoid that. Whoever you are, like, get to work. Go say I love you to whoever you need to. And I'm thinking, who do I need to do that to? Because it's all projection. Yeah, just go away. That's me running so I'm not hugged by the listener. Yeah. I guess follow me. Fine. Jeez.
The
God,
pressure's
all right,
on.
yeah, follow me. Yeah, Instagram, give me resources. Contribute to my success.
I'm trying to see
Don't
what
even
Jenna's
keep
doing back
doing
there.
your success. Just follow me and watch everything I'm doing and live vicariously through my success. Give me all your money and resources so that I can plant my flag of power in this world. I don't want you to go do anything with this information. I just want you to watch me all day long, like reality TV, and help me get power. That's what I want you to do. That's what I really want you to do. Or else, why am I doing all this shit? This is fun. Yeah, a lot of fun. I do this for free. But thankfully, I don't have to. For 9 easy payments of $9.99. Thanks.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I mean, hopefully,
It's been a gift.
Yeah. Hopefully, you guys knew he was being sarcastic. If you don't, stop watching the channel, because Jay's
No,
coming.
not sarcastic at all.
Jay's coming back on, and I'm on his show every once in a while when I beg and plead to get on.
Oh, it's a great show
Yeah.
when you're on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you launch last week's? I want to listen to last week's, because that was.
It'll be out in a couple
Yeah.
days. So the Culture Matters podcast. It's on all of the various mediums. Black and Gold, because there's another one. I'm sure it's great. No, I don't listen to it. But everybody can have culture. But it's called The Culture Matters Podcast. Has a black and gold background.
How many are you going to launch next year?
We release one every day. And I've as of today, this is Christmas Eve. We still have plenty of time in the year to work. I've recorded 335 shows this year, monologues and interviews. I'm proud of that because I said I was going to do something to that effect, and I've kept my word.
Yeah, you have.
And the goal's 370, and I'm confident that I'm going to record another 30, 35.
What do you got coming up New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve, Eric Guy is one of, I'll tell you right now, every year we get together on New Year's Eve and I invite.
This is awesome.
This is really cool. This is what it's all about.
Yeah.
So just, whoever you are listening to this, I'm more interested in my relationship with Eric. Like, I actually know you in real life.
Yeah.
And I know all the guests. So this is my culture. I want to invite them on the show. I like to have people back on the show. It's fun because we're building our relationship, our real relationship. It's real.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. So on New Year's Eve every year, I invite people starting at 5 a.m. until whenever my wife lets me work based on her arbitrary, meaningless goals of our relationship, which gets meaning from the time we spend together, what I choose not to do, who I choose not to do it with, et cetera, et cetera. So we have a date. But other than the date at 7 p.m., from 5 a.m. to 6:45 p.m., it'll take about 10 minutes to get to the location of the date.
Yeah.
I'm going to be recording podcasts with my friends. And, I think some enemies. I don't know if I'm inviting anybody I don't like on there. But, there's degrees of how much I like somebody. So not everyone I like that much. But as Abraham Lincoln said, I don't like that man very much. Let me get to know him better. So between 5 a.m. and, 6:45 p.m., and I'm inviting friends to come on at the same time block, and none of them know each other. And so hopefully everybody shows up. It's usually 100% attendance.
It's awesome.
Yeah, like we have a show at 2 p.m. together, and somebody else will show up, and you should know each other. So it's like, and we're going to have a podcast. So, 5 a.m. I got Berman's coming on, Calhoun at 6, Jeremy, Chris. You don't know these people, but all
it's
people.
Exciting.
Everybody that's been on the show before, it's so exciting. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah.
And no, it's not live. We do record it. This is it's like it's a culture. It's my people. And I can't wait. I'm going to introduce you. You come in.
All right.
I'll introduce you to the people before you and the people after. If you want to hang out, that's the thing. If you want to hang out and be in a couple podcasts with some random people, stick around. I mean, how many people do they let us have on Zoom? I don't know. I don't even know any of these details.
Yep.
If everybody wants to stick around, stick around. It'll be crazy.
Pretty wild time, Jay.
Yeah, and if the whole thing blows up in my face, who cares? Just New Year's. Yeah. Oh, and that's the other thing. It's like, what else am I going to do on New Year's? Hard drugs? No. No, sober life, baby. Podcast.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I'm sober. You might not think that watching this, but
I can't wait.
I can't wait
to
either.
hang with you,
dude. It's gonna be a blast.
2025. This and in 2025, there's some big things, guys. Jay, if we can ever get him back, we'll have him back on the show, gang.
I'm not going anywhere. You keep trying to end this thing.
Yeah. I know you have a call.
Yeah, I have a meeting. Yep. If you're not working on New Year's Eve, you might not. You either have such a great relationship with your family, which statistically I doubt that, or you just haven't found your passion yet, or maybe you don't have enough obligations. You need more credit. You need more debt.
You are just on a roll today.
Yeah, I'm having fun.
All right, let's end it.
All right.
Let's end it. But thank you.
Is it a happy ending?
That's all, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Jay, thanks. Jenna, thanks for bringing this guy on, and thanks for helping us. I love both of you guys so much.
Mom, thanks for having me.
Really appreciate it. Stay tuned, guys, for more. And just remember, wherever you're at, whatever you're doing, make this your best day yet. We'll see you soon.